product liability case involves a circumstance where a client is injured as a result of a defective product. We had a case years and years ago where a car was up on a lift. It was a Wrangler, which has got a weird center of gravity, which is why I mention it, a Jeep Wrangler. And the lift had 4 prongs that stuck out, and they would drive the car on the prongs, and then the technician would work below as the car is raised above them so they can get under the car. The problem with these arms were that they weren't secured. There was a pin that you could have gotten for $2.15. I don't remember the number, but it was close to that. That would have prevented the arms from moving. And what happened is the guy was torquing underneath the car, the arm slipped, the car fell off and crushed him. And it crushed him, it crushed his pelvis, his legs were split, and it caused what's called a book binding fracture, so his pelvis went like this. So he was a 30-year-old guy or a 20-something-year-old guy who was a mechanic and who was devastatingly injured and could never be a mechanic again. So we sued the manufacturer of the lift. It too was a highly contested case because when damages are substantial, meaning the injuries are substantial, and there's a lot of money at play, it becomes contested quickly. And we were able to prevail against the lift manufacturer, and that meant us going and hiring an engineer to help us understand it, hiring somebody that's in the lift making business to figure out what was state of the art, what kind of knowledge they had at the time. And it turns out in this lift case that the manufacturer's competitor had these pins that for $2.50 would have prevented this accident. And so we were able to help this man who was a solo dad raising his kid by himself take care of his family. So products liability involves a product that is manufactured in a negligent fashion, put into the stream of commerce, and that as a result of its poor design injures somebody. So in the scenario that I gave you involving the lift, the theory was that these arms moved. Everybody knew that these arms moved. It's foreseeable that somebody who's torquing a car, meaning banging on a wrench or something to get it to move, would cause energy such that the car would shift. We prevailed in that case against the manufacturer of the product because our theory was they should have known to put that pin in there. And what we used as information for the jury to consider was that other manufacturers did that. And the kicker in this case was that there was more than just my client that was injured in this way on this product. And again, if you were to go look at one of these lifts now, it has those pins in it. And I'm convinced that we had something to do with that, which is quite rewarding.